I'm stretching here. But I presume now that the session's over, you expect the crowd. It's going to be a little more crowded in the field, correct?
Oh, it will be. It will be.
Okay.
And you know what? Then competition is a good thing, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So for that, go to KQ for Minnesota, KQ4MN.com. That's where your website is for your governorship.
Yep,
So
yep,
I
that's
want to
it.
throw that out. Other thing, because it hit yesterday, maybe it's true. I saw it on the X. Did something go weird with a letter that the GOP threw out, and then it had like your return envelope or something on it? I didn't get it's
Yeah,
paragraphed him.
it's one of those inside baseball errors
Yeah.
on the vendor's part. So a lot of us in
Okay.
the industry, we use the same vendor for
Sure.
mailings, and not just politicians. I use the same vendor for our nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
So
Oh no. Okay. So there's something in it. I tried to get it, but it was like a 2-line thing, and like something else is going on here. So thank you for clearing that up. Now for the meat and taters today. I'm a little shocked. I'm going to throw this out here. You might have heard of Feeding Our Futures. You heard of that scandal here in Minnesota? You've heard of it?
that boondoggle, you probably have that money right now is in Africa somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, so the story today, headline in the Trib, Feeding Our Future, they had a federal guy come out and say, we got 72 of these guys. We think they're probably about 2 hondo, but we're a little too busy, aren't going to be able to get them all. Another story, autism and housing fraud, kind of the wet noodle we threw at that to try to stop it from happening. This is all going on while Governor Walls today is going to be in the U.S. House Oversight Committee about being a sanctuary city, a couple sanctuary cities, how he handled all this stuff. At the same time, riots are going on in L.A., reminding you of nothing but Minneapolis from 4 years ago. And yet, sir, according to KSTP, 58% of people approve of what Walls is doing. I cannot in no way believe that. And the fact that the number came out this morning, it seems weird to me. Just overall, your thoughts on how anyone can sit there and say 2/3 of us believe he's doing great.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you, Al. Here's a scenario, and we saw this on stage, on the national stage, when he was the VP nominee, right? It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, and then the curtain was drawn back, and he's the man behind the curtain. Now they're trying to do the same thing again. He's really the wizard. He's really the wizard. Forget the man behind the curtain kind of scenario.
Yeah. It just seems so strange to me that, well, I guess you get called up for this, that this thing in L.A. is going on, and now supposedly on Saturday, it's going to be across the nation, all these protests. You can protest all you want, I don't care. But all this is going on. It's just this constant drumbeat, a reminder of how poorly we're doing in the state of Minnesota. And yet, again, this poll comes out. I don't know who they're polling. Quite honestly, I don't know how that even flies. This session alone, sir, the Democrats started 3 weeks ago. We can go through the whole thing. But the first bill that came out, the Republicans asked that we could just say nothing more than if you work for the state of Minnesota and you suspect fraud, you must turn it in. The Democrats said no, thank you. They turned that common sense bill down. We had an Office of Inspector General. This bill got 60% of senators, 60 out of 67. And that gets turned down on party line votes. Does anybody want to stop fraud in Minnesota? I honestly do not believe we want to.
No, not at all. In fact, Al, I'm going to stop calling them the Democrat Party because what's happened is they are now the Democrat Socialist Party of America.
No.
Their socialist and Marxist wing of their party has taken over, but they just haven't changed the sign yet. They haven't changed the signage yet because this is no longer the Tip O'Neill, Ronald Reagan type of scenario of government.
That's right.
It's not even Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich scenario. We have a outright opposition to normalcy right now from the Democrat Party. But here's this, I want to give a sense of hope. Our state's not lost. We have 4 congressional delegates that are Republican, 4 that are Democrat in Washington, D.C. In the Senate, the Democrats have a one seat lead, actually, one seat, and we're tied in the House. Yeah. They outspend us 8-1. They control the media and everything else, and we're tied. And with the right candidate at the top of the ticket for governor, we can get a down ballot windfall, actually, and win this thing.
All right, and I want to push on you on this just a little bit, because at least with what we've seen going on and how this budget all got done this year, I'm not sure enough Minnesotans are paying attention. The idea that we haven't had a statewide winner in what, 20 years? The Republican parties have been,
Right. Yep.
Someone that may or may not be paying attention, maybe it's the wrong candidates. Why, if we're a 50-50 state, like you're saying, 201 legislators and it's 101 to 100, if we're that split, give me your answer on why we haven't had a statewide winner in 20 years.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I've been just saying this all around the state. When I go around the state, Democrats don't win, Republicans lose. We lose.
Okay, go deeper in the well on that, sir. What do you mean by that?
Because here's the scenario. We don't have enough Republicans in this state to win ourselves. We need swing voters.
Okay.
And we don't nominate candidates that will attract swing voters. We don't have to compromise our values. For example, I truly believe with me as the candidate for governor,
yep,
we'll win with such a margin that it will be called that night, not the next morning,
okay,
where the magic beans of ballots show up at after midnight. But it'll be called that night because the margin of victory will be so large that they can't cheat it out, right?
Okay. All right.
And so it's about candidate selection. And
then let's go down ballot then. If you're going to win this, I would have to say they call it dramatically if you're going to be able to call it the night of. Okay, so you do that. The other 5 state offices, are you helping to find those people to keep that momentum going? And then you get down to the Senate runs and the House runs.
That's exactly right.
Are you out helping do that to find those right people so that momentum happens? Because your problem is, right, Trump. And I mean this in a positive sense. Trump's your president, but midterm elections are very tough for the side that's in charge.
But we can make it we can localize it because of Tim Walz and what the Democrats have done.
Okay.
What the Democrats have done in this state is egregious. Even Democrats voted for President Trump last time, and there's an editorial in the Wall Street Journal from a Democratic woman from St. Paul that voted for him in his last election.
Okay.
And it's because the Democrats have gone over their skis. Now, let me just kind of line this up for you. Again, You think about they control the media. They outspend us 8-1. They should have a 5-seat majority in the Senate, a 5-seat majority in the House. They don't. It's because Minnesotans are not there. We're a centrist state, and we need to start nominating candidates that can attract the centrists, especially in the metro. And we can do it, and we can do it down ballot. And now one bit about this inside baseball. This last election that we have for governor, the statewide election, we had an attorney general, Jim Schultz, outperform the top of the ticket. He barely won. He barely lost the attorney general's seat. Same thing for state auditor with Ryan Wilson. He got even closer than Jim Schultz. If these guys can outperform the top of the ticket and nearly win, what do you think we could have with someone that's with wind in their sails for everyone for the Republican Party?
Well, 2 things. I got to go to a break. On the other side, tell me then, let's go down this road. You win it. The House and Senate becomes yours. The Republicans are finally in charge in the state of Minnesota. What does that look like? I'll ask that. And then I really do want to get down to, you're doing a town hall issue thing about what goes on with Tim Walz today. Can we talk about those 2 things on the other side?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've got them. Kendall Qualls, a KQ4MN.com.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with Dust Lock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
All the special interests are represented in St. Paul. But who speaks for you? Center of the American Experiment does. Our policy fellows dig into the tough issues that matter to you and offer common sense solutions on education, taxes, crime, and energy. American Experiment is the trusted, nonpartisan voice of Minnesotans like you. We are working every day to make Minnesota a better, safer, more prosperous place. We are American Experiment. Go to americanexperiment.org to learn more.
kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
We've got him, Kendall Qualls. He wants your vote for governor, KQ4FORMN.com, if you'd like to help him out. All right, so let's go down this road. You're gonna sweep the ballot. I love this. I love the idea. The momentum's there. You get the House, the Senate. How does Minnesota change, sir, when you're governor?
You know what? Minnesota was a very prosperous and thriving state. We're going to move that to where it was and beyond. And how are we going to do that? Number one, we're going to make it from an economic standpoint where people are thriving. Right now, it is tough for businesses to compete, tough for people to get ahead, tough for people to get an education. We're just going to bring that back to normalcy. Our taxes are at the highest rate across the country. Highest one in state corporate tax rate. We're going to bring that down. We're going to bring personal taxes down. Social Security's on taxes are going to be eliminated on that, all of that. But we're going to make this a place where businesses can thrive, because where businesses thrive, businesses need to hire people. Yeah. And when people get hired, they start families. And when people start families, they buy things. I mean, it's going to be through the private sector that brings that back. And there's nothing wrong with Americans thriving. We're the most generous people in the world. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, we're going to make our cities and our communities safe again. That used to be the norm for Minneapolis, especially. We can't be a great state without a great Minneapolis. Even if you live in greater Minnesota, we used to go on weekends, extended weekends to go to. No one wants to go to Minneapolis anymore because they know it's unsafe. We're going to bring that back to normalcy. And then lastly, we're going to make our schools great. And how we're going to do that is by school choice, number one. But we're going to do some very innovative things to bring our public schools back to normalcy. Our schools used to be the envy of the nation. Right now, 68% of fourth graders across the state cannot read at grade level.
Can I throw one more at you just for Al? Just do this for me.
Sure.
I want the fraud stopped. It isn't even stealing from us. I get to the point now, if you can literally just set up Al's Autism Center, I have no background in it, and I start sending names to the state and they send me money, shame on the state. Not Al. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it's stealing if you make it that easy. I want it done. I just want somebody.
That's just part of that's leadership 101. All right. Under this current governor, with all the fraud, no one in the state government has lost their job.
No.
No one's lost
no one's got
leadership.
A strongly worded letter in their personnel file for doing this stuff. It's, all right. Then lastly, before I let you go, and I thank you for taking the time. Governor Walz is, again, at the U.S. House. He's in front of the committee today, Oversight Committee, talking about sanctuary cities and all this in the news that's going on. You are having a virtual conference that you're going to talk about this. Tell me your thoughts on what's going on with Walz today and what your conference will be about after that.
Well, here's the scenario. As governor, when you take an oath of office, you pledge an oath to the Constitution and to serve the citizens of Minnesota. Nowhere in that oath is there a pledge to defend illegal immigrants at the expense of your citizens. Yeah. So this is something that's some ad hoc made up thing. Again, this is the socialist Marxist wing taking over the Democrat Party. They got a problem they got to deal with. They got to clean house. And until they do, I'm going to call them the Democrat Socialist America, because that's what they are. And that's what the half of Minneapolis City Council is anyway. They self-declared. Yeah. And then basically, we're going to hold them accountable for this. This is the same governor that allowed Minneapolis to become a war zone in 2020, and he wants to replicate that again across our state with these illegal immigrants.
Do you believe that he is who you'll be running against in 18 months? Is he going to be it? Do we have any inkling on it yet?
I'm not sure. I am not sure. I can't believe that he thinks he would be competitive, but I'm sure his party doesn't think he is. But here's what I do know. It doesn't matter if it's him or anyone else. It'll be a new face with the same policies. Just think about you got a crappy car, crappy chassis and rusted underneath. Yeah. It's just going to do a paint over.
But it's still
that's right. It's going to be someone with a prettier face, but better hair, and maybe better jokes. But it's going to be the same policies.
Well, and it's interesting. Again, that poll I brought up earlier, supposedly KSTP says today that 58% approve of what he's doing. The interesting part about the second part of that poll, which I think you should enjoy, 23% of Democrats evidently believe he should not run. If a quarter of your own people, are saying, I don't think we'd like a third term, that would bode very well for you or whoever's running against him. Republicans, of course, don't want him to, and independents, even 54%, say he should not. So if you're looking at those kind of numbers as a don't run poll, that's got to look good for you.
No, absolutely. But it also calls into suspect the original one, overall rating.
Oh, yeah.
If you have that strong of a rating, you would have that strong of a, we want you to run again scenario.
It's a strange poll, I'll give you that. All right, sir, for the last 1 minute, what does someone do if they want to help you out? I mean, obviously money is a good thing. I get that. Do you need people on the ground? What is it Kendall Qualls for Governor needs?
Hey, you know what? Here's the scenario. If you have friends that are on the other side, Democrats, independents, when you have them come to one of our meet and greets, have them one of our speaking engagements, have them go to our website to learn more about me. And what they'll find is a kid that grew up from nothing, from poverty, actually got an education, did it the hard way, that America still works. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'm an American first. I'm a husband. I'm a father. And my politics, my party politics, probably is the last down on the list. This is about America, and this is about Minnesota and getting us back to normal again.
Mr. Qualls, I appreciate you very much taking the time to do this for us today. The website, KQ, spell out FORMN.com. I appreciate you coming to the show, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Al. I appreciate it.
It's Kendall Qualls on the Al Travis Show.
All right.